Hello everyone. I'm going live a little early just to double check that the layout looks good. Make sure that everything is visible. Oh, hang on. I don't think the theme readjusted. Properties. Yeah, it was still on old school. There we go. Try now. Oh, there we go. That's better. Um, so let me just make sure, like if I go here and I go like stream, like, nope, that's not. If I go doobie doobie doop, that's fine. If I go oop, like, nope. Okay, I have to check on desktop, which is slightly annoying because it's gonna lag. Okay. Hopefully it's not unmute. Roll over. Go to Chanel. Oh no, don't be unmuted. There we go. Yeah, it looks fine. Alright, cool. Okay, that's good. Um, anyways, I am slightly early, so, um, it is live, yes. I am just slightly early, so. I'm debating. I went live early. I don't want to pause it just to, I could just, like, pause it and start it, but I think I'll just put up the starting soon screen. And I will be right back. Alright, hello everyone. For anyone that hasn't seen, big reveal. Boom! Okay, new layout. Thank you to Top Rock for designing this new layout. I, I, I love it. Like, nothing's gonna block the stream now, which is super nice. Unless there's just like a huge flood of chat messages, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah. It also just reminds you what channel you're on, in case you forget. Anyways, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. It is the 21st episode of this series. I also meant to adjust my date, edit filters. I want that to go down to 19. Then I immediately want to turn this down back here. There we go. Actually, 19 might be a little too low. We'll see. I noticed I was rewatching the last stream VOD, and I noticed that every time I said Helvetica, it liked to cut out half that word, so we'll see. Especially because that is one of the craft we're going to be looking at today. But speaking of, first of all, I want to check the contracts. New surface outpost on Minimus. We've already done this, so I'm going to say no. Science data from surface of Minimus, that will happen passively. Ferry two tourists safely to their destination. Uh-huh. Fly by the sun, orbit around the sun, suborbital spaceflight on Kerbin, orbit around Kerbin, suborbital. Interesting. I'm gonna go with no. New surface outpost on the Mun. Did we already do this? I feel like we already did this. We definitely did this. Yeah, because isn't the most recent craft we launched Mun surface outpost? You need to move over. Yeah. Like this guy. We also have a couple crew that we need to rescue, but that's fine. Yeah. We could probably do that, like, before we build the Sarnis craft, honestly. Just get a few more crew. Oh, you know what? I should have stayed in the tracking station so I could see where they were exactly. Are they both in LKO? They are. Okay. Almost the same orbit, in fact, but... okay. So, in that case... So, can I even afford anything science-wise? No, because I really want to save for RTGs, but... let's see. Expensive, though. Okay, that's fine. We're going to... Let's just go ahead and build a rescue craft. Let's just get a few more Kerbals, maybe see if there's a few more rescue missions. They should start asking for rescues from the Mun and Minmus soon, which would be interesting. So it's going to be what? The Bonsai something. Bonsai 13. So I'm just going to do a remote guidance unit, and then I'm going to do a lander can, which is going to look silly, but it's fine. Let's do this, actually. Oh, we have the 4Ks now. Okay, that's the only battery we need then. And I think I'm just going to do... I'm actually going to do a... Can I do the rover type? No, that looks silly. Keep it as the lander. drogue chutes, of course, and then 2 mains and a main. So the drogues get moved down. Did you get auto started? Yes, okay. Anyways, yeah, because this is going to go up empty, right? So let's see. We could probably get away with just having these guys. Oh, that is not attached inside at all. Whoops. Now that's gonna clip through the stuff. That's fine. I'll just do some high gains, like down here. Let's actually move those on up a bit. Yeah, something like that. It looks a little silly, but that's fine. There we go. Shouldn't need that much fuel for this, honestly. Like, that's probably plenty. Although, just in case, I will do a 32, just to make it a little overkill. Something like that. There we go. Yeah, no, it's not a problem at all. Okay, there's one. So it takes 6 messages for it to pop up. And each message lasts maybe like 15 to 20 seconds. Do I have an extra large reaction wheel? I didn't even think about a reaction wheel. Put one there. I imagine that one mainsail, or one engine would not be enough. Yeah, no, didn't think so. That should be enough. Let's check the thrust to weight. Oh yeah, plenty. That could even be thrust limited. Let's thrust limit to like 80. Yeah, perfect. Alright. Yeah. Alright, center of mass, center of aerodynamics. Give me... I guess we got more aerodynamic stuff. I really want my advanced canards. That's the only thing that I'm like missing. Does that look correct? No, it does not. Alright, one more. There we go. That's better. And this should be no crew at all. Good. Alright, should be good to go. Although I am, just in case, going to put these guys custom action group, deactivate all controls. There we go. No stream later this week because I will be gone. Next week should have both streams still, and then the week after. Oh well. I mean, it goes barely above, but that's fine for now. But yeah, no Friday stream this week. Next week we'll have both streams. The week after we'll have neither stream. I mean, the only thing is if you extend it, I guess you could extend it sideways. Because, like, you can't really extend it vertically, because I have it pretty much at its limit. But, oh well. We're gonna launch this guy. Alright, there's a quick save, and let's go ahead and launch. Is it just me, or does it feel like it's not straight up and down? I think that's just me. Also, I did come up with with one channel point incentive. I just don't know how many channel points it would be, and I also feel like it would kind of depend on the game how many channel points it should be. But I was thinking like one of the incentives for channel points could be hands off the controls for like a certain amount of time. Alright, I need to be burning sideways, but alright, let's just physics warp this on up for a bit. Probably gonna lose quite a bit of altitude to the. Yeah, really, not that much really. I can ditch fairing. Alright, let's open the doors and extend our solar panels. It is labeled as a lander, which is fine. It's not like we're going to be using this for that long. disable controls on the wings. Alright, good enough. So let's set... let's figure out which one's closer, actually. Yeah, because this one will catch up a little faster. Alright, so at our periaps, a little further, actually. At, like, I don't know, here. Burn retrograde? Probably gonna have to add a few orbits, unsurprisingly. Ooh. Add a lot of orbits, actually. Alright, so that's pretty close. 3.5 kilometers. 3.4. Let's, oh, no. Give me that maneuver, please. Let's, up the time scale on that. Alright, go back a bit. And then let's do, like, prograde, retrograde. Retrograde. I mean, I think that's as good as it's getting, which 300 meters is fine. So we'll go for that. That is a 0.3 second burn, so I'm going to thrust limit this. 12 seconds is fine. Alright, and this could be potentially photosensitive, so I'm just going to go right into here. Alright, of course we have to realign for the node. I probably could have done some normal, anti-normal, because our inclination is off by, you know, 1/10 of a degree, but oh well. Also, somehow we've been on the dark side for pretty much the entirety of this mission so far. Just got rid of the node, and I'm just going to point basically where we were pointing until it, like, it slowed down a little bit down here. Alright, so that's probably about as good as it's going to get. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to point target retrograde. Yeah, and that reaction wheel is working overtime. Ugh, I love the music. I know I've mentioned it before, but just this game and, you know, some of the songs in KSP2 are just amazing. Speaking of KSP2, it's almost playable finally. They released a hotfix today that fixed the sphere of influence transition, completely throwing off your trajectory. Also, there's a bug that just flew in front of me. I don't know how. I don't even like have any like food or drinks in my room, but there have just been bugs constantly, and it really bothers me. Especially because like if it's mosquitoes, I'm allergic to mosquitoes. Not like anaphylactic shock allergic. I know I mispronounced that, but that's fine. But I mean, it's still like, you know, I'm fairly allergic to mosquitoes, so it's just I don't like when they're in my space. Alright, this is saying that in 8 minutes it's our closest encounter, so I'm gonna do this. Okay. And then I'll just warp to like, that's saying 39 minutes. I'd actually rather only warp like 8 minutes ahead. Why is it saying, hang on. Okay, I guess it's because we're really close. I just can't warp like 1 ahead. Whatever, that's fine. Let's warp to, how far away is that? 7 minutes, 20 seconds? Let's warp to 6 minutes, 58. That's fine. Alright, we have a little bit of time to get over. Not a lot, but... The only problem is we're kind of like pushing the retrograde node a little bit. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to quick save, I'm going to jump over to this pod. Going to, first of all, rename as debris. And you are an engineer, not what we needed. Anyways, you're going to hop over to the ship. Yes, to that layout. Boop-a-da-boop. Alright, rapidly approaching the main ship. Oop, a little too rapidly. There we go. Grab and board. And might as well do a crew report. Just to make sure the XP gets counted correctly, cough cough. Alright, now to set the other one as target, which is currently over here. So, our orbit is 88 by 81, its orbit is 83 by 91, so we're actually going to catch up to it. So if I were to burn around here, and I were to add a couple orbits, oh my, if I were to raise my apoapsis unreasonably, because we have the delta V, yeah, I think that's what we're doing. We're just gonna, I'm actually gonna raise it, I'm gonna do something a little weird here. I'm gonna raise it exactly 400 dB. Do time warp. get realigned for that node. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it right there. And I'm actually going to do this before I plan a maneuver. Oops, not docking mode. And I want to check maneuver mode. I'm just going to drop this. Perfect, so that'll crash back into the surface. And then I want to flip prograde. Oh! You know, I didn't think of that part. You know, I kind of forgot that, oh my. Okay, is this debris still gonna crash? Let's set that as target, check its periapsis. It is, okay, good, 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 good. Kind of forgot that you, like, need to, you know, give yourself some space before burning towards a piece of debris. Anyways, that's gonna crash back down to Kerbin. That's fine. Yeah, I just wasn't even thinking like, oh yeah, I should probably let it, you know, get some space away from me. Nope, that's too low actually. Hmm. Alright, I'd say that's close enough encounter. We'll have to burn off quite a bit of relative speed, but that's fine. You know, if NASA sent out a mission to bring down some stranded crew and they hit their lower stage, I'm sure this would be going a lot differently. Three, two, one. 92 meters, that's fine. Alright, so we will want to be in target retrograde, but that's going to be here. I also want to unthrust limit this for sure. So at that point, ooh, that's actually going to be 37 seconds of burn. So let's go about 20 seconds before that encounter. So that's 1 hour, 2 minutes, 7. Let's go. Yeah, let's warp to there. Oh, go to target retrograde, like now, please. Okay. So, not quite zeroed out. Let's just push it over. There we go. It's not perfect, but... and then we'll burn closer. Alright, should be close enough. Alright, so about 2 minutes until that point. Yeah, nice alt account, Layson. Oh shoot, okay, I burned slightly too far, but that's fine. Yeah, you forgot to cancel the bit. Oh, can I not rename this? Is there not like a probe on this? Wait, can you even EVA? Oh, you can. Okay. Oh. That's interesting. Okay. There we go. Okay. So now we can just, nah, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, that's slightly annoying because I can't actually rename that, but whatever. We're just gonna point retrograde. There we go. And warp down to the atmosphere. Alright, let those fold back in. And close our doors. Good job. Nobody needs to know. I'm sure the person that you were trolling won't actually watch this stream. I don't think she watches my streams. I don't think she's watched a single one of my streams, but falling back in. We may actually land over land here. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. Let me switch to true altitude. I know, watch this be the one stream she watches. Alright, so this is just gonna float on down. Oh no! My snacks! Alright, there we go. We can recover that vessel. Alright, there we go. Alright, they both advanced to level 1. That is fine. Okay, so now I want to look. This is going to be 2529 dB. Alright, so technically I could call this the whatever letter is after H. Yeah, that honestly, best part. I could call this the next craft, but I kind of want to just call it the Figaro 3. Since like we're not intending to have it orbit anything, we're just having it do a flyby. So, Figaro 3. It will be based on a remote guidance unit. It only technically needs what, 2600 dB. So we'll see. So let's see. What all do I want in this? I want science equipment for sure. So we'll put a science junior. Let me put a reaction wheel up here actually. Mystery goo. Actually, wait. Magnetometer. Gravioli, thermometer, barometer, and seismometer, even though we're not going to use that. And then, let's see. I'm actually just going to immediately step this up to a 4K. And I'm going to put 3 of them, believe it or not. Because we don't have RTGs yet. And even the Gigantors are going to be like pretty much non-effective once it arrives at Sarnis. So I am going to put 4. And I should probably arguably also have a fuel cell on this, but I'm not going to bother. And then below this is where I'll have the fuel tank. And it's just going to be... It's actually going to be a 32 with no oxidizer. And then below that I want an engine plate. So this will be a 25. And I want to see if I do a triple on here, what would that look like with the nerves in vacuum? 3,300, so this would do it. And I actually don't want the shroud on this. All right. Be careful with how you answer this, Leeson, because Pop Rock is the type of person that would admin caboose. Anyways, where's my 100G? I want. Are these combinable? Yes, I want 4 of these. I'm realizing that I want these rotated actually. Interesting, okay. Okay. Alright, so now we need to lift this in orbit. Which, it isn't that heavy. It's 23 tons. And I think I'm going to, first of all, auto strut. Oh, it's locked. Okay, that's fine. This is the S3 to S4. I want the, which one? Not that one. This one. I could probably get this into orbit with just this and a mainsail. Yeah, easily. Okay. I mean, does it look ugly? Yes, but that's fine. The other thing is I don't have a lot for reaction wheels. I have that, and that's pretty much it. So what if I did this? Wrong one. Did this. That's fine. Alright, and then I want stability enhancers, aka launch clamps. And then I'm just gonna save this and leave the BAB for a second. Alright, and then I want to just warp. Oh, that's nice. We got surface deployed science. Alright, so I'm going to slow this down a little bit. I'm going to warp this until we have about 2 hours left to go. Alright, so about there. That's fine. Also, we had a bunch of screen messages come in. Okay, so let's go to Launchpad, and let's launch the... oh boy. Oh boy. Figaro 3. Let's launch that. Do. Also, for those that know, it has now been 72 hours. Like, as of 1 minute ago. Anyways, let's launch this thing. I forgot to check the thrust to weight. Oh, we're fine. Make sure my inclination's not too far off. Okay, 0.1, that shouldn't be that big of a deal. this liquid fuel is like kind of bouncing around weirdly, but yeah, like see that? It just bounced up and then went back down. What was it doing that for? Alright, slightly overshot the 100 kilometers I was aiming for, but that's fine. Alright, let's ditch the fairing. Alright. And then, of course, at this apoapsis, we're going to circularize. And that's probably good enough. Alright, so let's go ahead and time warp to this circularization. Oh, overshot slightly. That shouldn't affect things too much. But alright, let's go ahead and show eject angle. So let me also just pull that up. So we need to burn around here. And of course that's in 28 minutes. Ideally this would be in like, apparently this is 4 days ahead of the actual transfer window, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and let me just leave that maneuver open. I'm going to set, oh that's interesting. Oh yeah, because our Gallium 1 is almost there, which is kind of insane. I'm going to set Sarnis as our target. I'm going to go to our next maneuver. And I'm going to add 2355.1 meters per second of prograde. And I'm going to add negative 922, oh, come on, negative 922.2 meters per second of normal. What does that look like right now? Why is it saying we don't have enough delta V? We should have enough delta V. There we go. Okay, apparently it just didn't like that staging. Anyways, this is going to be how close? Let me close alarm details. Not very close at all, actually. So let's add a few orbits. Yeah, that's all it was. So this actually does need to be in 5 days, interestingly. Or 4 days, or whatever it was. Oop. Oh, we're having a MUN encounter. That's kind of annoying. Okay. So we do have an encounter. And I do want to see if I can get it closer. This is now in 8 days. I'm gonna expand our alarm list. Okay, yeah, we're gonna need to do our Helvetica maneuver first. That's fine. Oh, that is increasing, so. I just want to get a nice close encounter. If we can capture, that would honestly be great. Oh, and we're actually getting a slate encounter there. But I am going to try and just bring it sort of in the plane. Let's do a little bit of prograde now. Let's do radial. That should be fine. So after this, I mean, I don't imagine we have enough delta V to capture, but out of curiosity, you know, how much delta V would it be to capture? Even just to barely capture? Okay. To barely capture, that would be... Actually, we could do that. Okay, good to know. So we could potentially capture this around Sarnis once it arrives. Okay, so I'm going to add this maneuver. Gonna give myself a 10-minute warning. And I'm going to delete this alarm. So now I want to jump to this ship. Okay. So here we are at the Helvetica 1. And we have a maneuver. And I believe this is the maneuver to get us an actual encounter with Eve. Yes. And it will be a pretty close one, so hopefully we could get some in-space low science. So let's go ahead and warp to this maneuver. I can kind of close this alarm list. And I did give myself a 10-minute warning on this alarm, so that's fine. Delete on close. So let's close that alarm, and let's warp ahead to that node. Now, of course, we're still on the poodle stage for this, which is kind of insane. And we do need to be able to deploy, you know, both these satellites. Which I don't believe I have these staged. I don't. So I wanted to, you know, decouple those on my own. But let's, first of all, just because I'm a little paranoid, let's make sure that these are all activated. They are. So I'm going to quick save. And I'm going to warp slightly ahead. And I want to focus on Eve. Alright, and let's burn. Okay, there's our encounter. So I'm actually going to stop it like there. Oh, that's a little too low. Okay, I'm going to point prograde. We do not want to come in and hit the atmosphere. That would be way less than ideal, because Eve's atmosphere is incredibly thick. Okay, that is good enough. I think that's still in space low. I hope that's still in space low. We can point slightly retrograde and just rest limit these guys. Yeah, let's just go to like 160, 157, that's fine. Now, we're not going to do anything with this. We just want to detach our satellites and have those capture when we get there. Alright, so when is that sphere of influence change going to be? We're going to enter... We're actually going to be in there for a few days, so I want to add a sphere of influence change here. And give me like 15 minutes of warning. When is that? After our Joule transfer window, interestingly. Okay, so I am satisfied with that. Let's jump back to the Figaro 3. And then immediately we're going to have 2 more transfer windows. Alright, so let's go ahead and get pointed to this node. And out of curiosity, how much delta V were these two? 2501, so that one's actually less. They're actually similar amounts. Interesting, okay. Quick save here, and then I do need to find a spot to zoom in, because this will definitely flash. Alright, so we can delete that on close. Oops. Yeah. I didn't actually mean to restore that maneuver node, but whatever. And then I want to... I'm going to go ahead and focus view on Sarnus, and that is giving us quite a gravity assist. Wow. I mean, that's chucking us beyond, you know, Planck's orbit, or Planck, not Planck. Jeez Louise, okay. But that is what our projected encounter looks like. Also, there are a lot of asteroids here. Which I knew from kind of reading up on the outer planets that it liked to capture asteroids, but hopefully we don't run into any when we actually go there. But anyways, this burn is in 8 seconds, so let's go ahead. There's apparently something like not that far away from us, but... There we go. So that's just going to float around, and that's fine. this is going to be a bit of a long burn. Yeah, so I may physics wart this. It doesn't look like there's any oscillation, so that's good. Alright, and I am going to go ahead and kill the physics warp here, even though it says we still have 30 seconds. Just because I'm noticing that this is getting kind of close. Looks like we have an encounter. There it is. And that's actually getting further away. Yeah, so I'm going to point retrograde here, just straight retrograde. So I'm going to check this. Time to event 7 days. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to point anti-normal. I mean, we're wasting delta V here, but that's fine, because it's getting us closer. Alright, I'm going to try radial in. Yeah. And then more anti-normal. And then a little more retrograde, I guess. It might be prograde that I need to burn now, but... Oh, nope, it was definitely prograde. Okay, so I want to see if I can sort of just refine this a little bit. So let me focus back on the craft. And right before we exit the sphere of influence, I'm going to add a maneuver. And then I want to focus back on Sarnus. And I'm going to do anti-normal. Slightly more than that. I'm just going to do some prograde and anti-normal. A little less normal, actually. Oop. This is fine, honestly, right here. So that'll be 98 meters per second, so not a lot. And I'm going to quick save and warp to that. Alright, so about another minute to go here. Alright, so about there. And then I think I will just circularize this once we get there. Although I'm actually going to wait until we exit the sphere of influence of Kerbin to do that, because it might change our encounter. So I'm going to warp to this escape in 27 minutes. Alright, bye Kerbin. I'm going to check if this periapsis changes. Which it looks like it may have. Maybe not too much, actually. I'm also going to add a sphere of influence change, give me 15 minutes warning, which isn't going to be for a while. I mean, it's already down, it's all the way down here. But then I want to, once again, focus view. And I just want to see how much it would cost to barely capture. $435? That is not bad at all. Okay, I think we'll call that good then. Also going to add this maneuver, but I'm going to say only give me like a 10-minute warning. And those should be right after each other, yeah. Now, interestingly, we're going to spend like, a little over 60 days from here to the maneuver. I mean, it's going to be a little over 60 days, which just shows how big the sphere of influence of these gas giants are. But anyways, we're going to head back to the Space Center. Alright, and we can recover these bits. And I'm going to warp ahead once again. This time I'm going to warp about an hour ahead. So about there. And we're going to launch the exact same craft. So I will grab the, come on, the Figaro 3, and we're just going to launch it. Alright, so this time I want to SAS on. I'm going to zoom into here, and I'm going to grab the remote guidance unit, and I'm going to rename this vessel to the Figaro 4. Alright, and we're going to click save, and we are going to launch. Do do. Alright, about there should be good. Alright, we can ditch the fairing. And we know that this staging messed up last time, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the stage here. There we go. Alright, and now that we are in space, compress our action groups. And of course, once again, at this apoapsis, we're going to circularize. That is a little over-circularized. So about there-ish. There we go. Alright, so this will be in about a minute. Alright, that is pretty circular. So I'm going to pull up this alarm detail. I'm going to show the eject angle. So this one is actually ejecting way over here. I'm going to add the maneuver right there, and then I'm going to zoom way out. I'm going to set Erlem as the target this time. And I'm going to input those orbit parameters. So this will be 2485.9 with a normal DV of 278.1. And let's see how that is looking. Almost. I can close these alarm details. What happens if I add some orbits? That is exactly what it needed. So this will probably be another 4-day wait, if not longer. And we're getting a money counter, which is annoying. Oh, and that's actually getting further away. So that money counter is kind of screwing things up. Looks like about there is as close as it got, so let's just add prograde. There we go, that's doing it. Okay, how is this encounter looking? Of course, it's not going to be super accurate. Maybe a little bit of this. And this one also seems to be capturing some asteroids, which is interesting. So I want to get this one nice and close as well. So about there is probably good. And that is actually in the plane. Oh, that's also getting a wall encounter. Okay. I mean, we may leave that, you know, if it's going to be too much dB to capture. So, let's see. We're going to have about 1500 dB left. So just out of curiosity, how much would it cost to barely capture this? So about there, 660. So we can do this one as well. No, I want to get rid of that maneuver actually. There we go. So we'll go ahead and just do this maneuver. I'm actually going to close or delete this alarm. There we go. Now, interestingly, we do have a night-on transfer window before this burn. However, I wonder if I can manually... Can I manually add... Like, what happens if I do this? If I say, give me like another 20 hours? Yeah, so let's give us 0 hours on that. In fact, let's give it like 30 minutes. Okay, 5 hours, 0 minutes. Let's give it 3 hours. Not 35 hours, 3 hours. Cool. So we'll just do that. So that way we can do this burn before we have to worry about that. And then our Gallium-1 is actually arriving to Duna, which is exciting. So I'm going to do that real fast. I also need to... Now I can focus on this. But I need to, once again, zoom into here, quick save, and warp on ahead. Alright, so another minute to go. We're of course going to get realigned for this maneuver, and our apoapse and periapse got thrown quite a bit there. So I imagine that's going to change our encounter. Not too much actually. Alright, so just once again getting lined up for this maneuver. We have about 30 seconds until we have to burn. I'm also going to quick save once again. Alright, and burn. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and physics warp. So we are escaping the gravitational influence of Kerbin. And I am of course going to focus view on Erlem, since that is where we are going. And you can see us pushing our apoapsis right on out there. That is the orbital line for the Sarnas craft. Alright, I'm going to take us out of physics warp. Alright, and here comes our encounter. Looks like it's passing underneath a little bit. Alright, so we're gonna stop it right there. And of course, if we just let this go on through, we would kind of get thrown a little bit. But I'm once again going to, right before our escape, I'm going to add a maneuver. And I'm going to come right back out here, focus on Earlham. And this is very likely going to be a normal burn. Yeah. And it looks like this is just almost entirely a normal burn, with maybe a little bit of prograde thrown in. So how low can we go with this? I actually don't know the atmospheric height of... Is it going to tell me? 325,000. So that's cutting it pretty close, but we should be fine to go there. So this is a 0.8 second burn. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going to thrust limit our nuclear engines. Let's go 16. Let's go, come on, give me 16. And let's go 16. I don't think that's something I've ever needed to do, is thrust limit some nuclear engines. So I'm going to quick save, and I'm going to time warp. Alright, so that did throw our orbital path slightly, but this should be fine. We are slightly off the, what do you call it? The node slightly, but we should be able to correct that. Alright, about another minute to go. Alright, 3, 2, 1, and burn. Ooh. That jumped a lot quicker than I expected it to. Alright, so that's about good right there. It's not as low as it was predicted, but that is perfectly fine. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the map view. I'm going to focus on our craft. I'm going to pin the periapsis, and that is going to be in 10 minutes, so I'm going to quick save. I basically just want to make sure we don't lose our encounter entirely once we exit Kerbin's Sphere of Influence. Alright, and it looks like it didn't change at all, which is lovely. So I'm going to, once again, I'm going to add a Sphere of Influence alarm. Give us 15 minutes. Now this one isn't for a while. Like, this is after our Figaro 1 returns to Kerbin. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again focus on... Oh, this one's launching us even further. But I'm once again going to focus on Earlham. And I'm going to close this. And I just want to barely capture once we get there. About like that. Of course, that's going to be a very long orbital period, but that is fine. And I just want to add that to the alarms list. Give me about a 10-minute warning. And there we go. Alright, and of course right now we are over the sun. You can see Kerbin over there. And there's the Mun right there. Actually highlighted for a second, which is interesting. Tuna back there, Minmus over there. Alright, and we get to do that one more time. Alright, so we could, yeah, like I said, we could do that another time. So I don't need to warp very far for this one. Like once again, I'm just gonna give us about an hour. Alright, so go to launch pad, grab the Figaro 3, which of course we are going to rename this one the Figaro 5. Hey man. Alright, so SAS on, let's go ahead and add this extra, oop, not that. Add this extra stage because we know it's been having trouble. Get this guy open. Grab the, nope, that's the Science Junior. I want the remote guidance unit, and we're going to rename this the Figaro 5. Alright, neat. So I'm gonna quick save, full throttle, and launch. Oh, I way overburned there, but that's fine. Alright, physics warp on up. Alright, activate both of our action groups and quick save. And of course, once again, at this apoapsis, we are going to circularize. Alright, and this one is what? 2589 delta V, so similar to the Sarnis departure. And it's got a lot more prograde than normal. We can go ahead and warp to this maneuver. Alright, and circularize. Alright, close enough. And of course we are going to set Nidon as our target, way out there. We are going to show the eject angle, which is going to require a burn around here. Of course, this is going to be at least one orbit. I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively add an orbit. Then we need 2587.1 prograde and negative 101 normal. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and point there even though we don't need to yet. I'm going to close the alarm details. How close are we? We have an encounter straight away. Now, out of curiosity, if I were to add a couple orbits, would that get closer or further away? It would get a lot closer. Good to know. And then we need some anti-normal. Oop, a little, do some retrograde and then some anti-normal. That's like almost equatorial right there, so I'm going to add prograde now. A little bit of regular. Alright, I once again want to get nice and close. Actually, I don't mind coming in polar. And this one seems to also occasionally capture some asteroids. Interesting. Okay. And of course, if we just let that happen, that would toss us literally beyond 1 trillion meters. Now, this isn't going to happen for a while. And this will be much later in the career when we are pretty much time warping like a year at a time. But we are lined up for that maneuver, and that is in 2 days. So I'm going to, again, zoom in so that the flashing isn't too bad. I'm going to quick save, and I'm going to warp. Oh, and I forgot to delete the alarm, so I'm going to have to warp again. Alright, delete, unclose, and warp ahead. I'm gonna load that quick save because for some reason that just went right past my maneuver node. Okay, let's delete this alarm. Going to add an alarm with 4 minutes of lead time. And we're going to warp to that. I don't know what happened there. And I did not, unfortunately, minimize the flashing that much. Yeah, I don't know why, because I was using the stock warp to maneuver, and it warped past it. So I have no idea what happened there. Alright, so delete on close, close alarm. Let's quick save. And let's just go like 10x. Yeah, I'm still trying to think of channel point incentives, but it's fine. I do think a fun one, again, it depends on the game and it depends on the time period, would be like, as soon as someone redeems it, hands off controls for X amount of time. Moo minute. That would just be ridiculous. I also feel like that's just, you know, asking for someone to clip it. Alright, so let's focus on Night On. Meow minute? Oh no, that's even worse. I hope I'm not dipping into the atmosphere here. I'm not. Okay, we're good. I believe Sarnis has the highest atmosphere. A woof while? Oh no. Alright, let's come out of Physics Warp. I had an encounter with something else there. I'm not quite sure what it was, but... Whoa, okay. That kind of shot way past it. So let's go to Retrograde. I will go ahead and correct this. Alright, and I do need to correct this. I'm going to... I mean, this is going to be after our Sphere of Influence change to Duna, although it's going to be before our maneuver, so this will be a little bit of jumping back and forth. In fact, I'm just going to cancel that alarm. Like, this is the more important one anyways. Alright, so let's look at Night On once again. Pig Latin? Oh no. I don't even know what you're supposed to do when the word starts with the vowel, because I've heard like 10 different rules. Let's toss in some retrograde there. Oh, and that is right back to where it started. Alright, we're just going to bring this nice and close once again. I don't mind it being polar. I'd actually rather this one, like, just get as close as possible. Okay, not slamming into it close. That is actually less than ideal. Can I do some radial? Yeah. Might be a little too close. I'm going to go 388. Alright, so let's just get lined up for that maneuver. Of course, that's in 22 years. It's going to be a while before we get there. But I'm going to quick save and warp. And this is, of course, going to change the amount of delta V needed because our orbit jumped way out there. Oh, I overshot slightly. Let's just point there. there's good. And let's go ahead and add that sphere of influence change. Actually, no, we're not out of the Kerbin sphere of influence. Let's not add that yet. 6 minutes left to go. Okay, this is going to be quick. $845, $591. Okay. I feel like the trick is to have a different sphere of influence on your focus when you cross sphere of influences. Now, once again, this is showing that we would have an escape out of the sun if we just let this happen. But like, that's 510 years, so I don't think that's going to happen. All right, so now let's add that sphere of influence change. And that is, of course, going to be the last alarm in our list. Oh, it's actually not. Okay. All right, and how much dB would it be to barely capture here? Actually, less than at Earlham and Sarnas. Interesting. Let's go ahead and add that. I mean, that's going to be after like 200-something days. Jeez. Okay. All right, so now we need to switch over to the Gallium-1 because it's already in the sphere of influence of Duna. So, where is Duna? It should be above us, right? Let's close the alarms list. No, where is Duna? You should be in the sphere of influence of Duna. You are. Is it really that far away? So, I mean, we're facing where? Oh, there's Duna. And there's Ike. Wow, okay. And is this on a, this is on a hex. Wow, this is an old satellite. Okay. Wow. And did we bring science equipment on this? No. Oh, we brought a thermometer, so let's go ahead and do that. Did we bring any other science equipment? So the thermometer was over there. We did not. Okay. But we got a world first milestone. So that's nice. That'll give us some money and some science. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and warp to this maneuver. Hello, Duna. Did we happen to bring a resource scanner on this? We did not. So this is, of course, just a relay. And it's actually bouncing off the Helvetica 1 relay that's on there, which is interesting. Alright, so we are going to, once again, warp to this maneuver. Alright, so about another minute to go. And we can just point retrograde, realistically, but... I'm going to go ahead and physics warp this. We are trying to circularize this orbit. Alright, come out of physics warp and cut the burn. Let's make it a little more circular. Alright, about there. And that is another world first milestone. So we now have a relay over Duna. And when is our next Duna window? Not for a while. Do we have a better one coming up? Let's do a transfer window. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this window. So Kerbin to Duna. No, I believe that is the same one. Yeah, departure year 3, day 307. Yeah, so it's essentially the same one. Okay. So let's go back to the Space Center. And that is pretty much everything I wanted to do today. So yeah, I mean, we sent a lot of craft off. Also, did we get any? We did get another rescue mission. And for some reason it's a 2-star. I'm gonna decline both of these and this. That's fine. I'll do that off stream. Ooh, bring Duna Stone back with you. Okay, I'll accept that. Alright, so with that though, thank you all so much for joining. We sent quite a few craft off today. I also should probably plan more transfer windows. I will do that off stream as well. I also forgot to check. You are another engineer as well. Okay, that's annoying. Oh well. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.